Yolan True and welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy. And today I want to talk about a ship that I recently built. I built a few and I will talk about some of them in the next weeks. But today I want to talk about the Mow'ga. You will remember that I made a preview video on this ship. It's the 5-star Klingon faction survey ship. And now that I have it, I want to tell you why I built it and a little bit more about how it works, because this is quite a nice ship. It's a Shipyard 58 ship, and a lot of people will say, oh yeah, why are you building this? At 61 you build the cell key, that's what you need for the hazard space and everything. But I really like those faction miners, and I like this one as well. Let's have a quick look at the details again. Mine is small. It's a tier 1 still, but the most important things are already here. The basics that you see here are the warp range of 478, the cargo capacity of 32 million, and the protected cargo of 750k. That's very helpful for mining 5-star materials. And despite going at level 61 at some point, this is still very important. And if we look at my Mow'ga, for a second I have to take it from the note to have a look at my stats. You've seen the basic ones there, and here you see mine are a bit higher with the warp range, because I built the warp drive already on tier 1 with 526, and that's already very helpful because this ship can go into deep 5-star space, and that is quite helpful. And when we go back to the ship for a second and have a look why I'm using that at the moment as well, it's because of its mining speed. And it does have a crystal mining laser. It's a Klingon ship, so it's always crystal, and the mining rate of crystal is increased already by 420%. And if we look at the overall mining bonus here that I have, it's 5,506%. That is so fast and so helpful that I can mine millions overnight, and that's the point with the ship, because you can go into deep G5 space, but you can also go to some better silent enemy spaces. If you look here, it's in the level 57 silent enemy system at the moment where I'm mining. Those token spaces are often quite crowded. With the Mow'ga you can go to a higher one, and there you usually find a spot. They're a bit mean because some of these nodes change what they are, like, you know, from some very early systems you mine gas and suddenly it's ore, or many of them turn into crystal, and in this case I was lucky it stayed gas. But in another system I have the problem there's only crystal at the moment, so I have to mine crystal there. But that's a really nice thing, and it's token space, and if I can stay there for 34 million resources without being shot down, because on my server at least it's forbidden to shoot OPC ships in token spaces, and so I can fill the whole ship in a token space here before returning. It will definitely build quite an amount of mats for me and for my work later when I just do that. And these systems are quite nice because you can mix it. There's an ore one now. Let's have a look what. Yeah, it must be a fresh one. Someone must have zeroed it because I was looking for ore, because everything was gas and crystal when I last looked in here. So if we look at it, I will mine 205,000 raw ore per hour. That means this one will be empty in 6 hours. This is not the normal speed of the Mow'ga, because this is in this token space the speed is higher, but you can imagine what you can do. And I quickly have to relocate one ship for a second later. We will talk about this in a minute when we look there. So the 200,000 is of course only in the token space, but the silent enemy token space is quite fast. faster than in the FKR systems usually. Especially will be interesting. I heard that already, even though I'm not on level 61 yet, that people will in the hazard spaces. It's slower in FKR space than in the silent enemy ones. I guess they said it's 4 times faster to get G6 material there, and so that's the point of those token systems. I just wanted to include that, but nevertheless. The Mow'ga helped me immediately get much more materials, especially crystal, once I build it. And it's not very cheap. If we look at the pricing, of course, it's a rare Klingon survey, and so the price is quite expensive. It's the blueprints itself are much cheaper than the calculator, with just 3,000 Klingon credits per blueprint, but it's a rare ship, so you will need 350 blueprints for those, and that of course means that you have to collect a lot of credits to buy that. But I did that. I was taking a long road to level 60 anyway, so after I already had the Rotaran blueprints, I had the time to get all the Mow'ga blueprints before I even went to 60. Which I am now, by the way, and then it was doable. But that's the reason why I don't have the BT or the Vrex yet, because I just a few days ago managed to finish the Enterprise D, and I'm still working on the Deridex blueprints, because the Romulans are my smallest faction in reputation, and that's why I don't collect that many Romulan credits at the moment, because it's hard to balance out 3 different factions, because there's one important thing I want to show you. The Romulans are at 15 billion. That's one of the last lock before the very last one at 500 billion. And there you can exchange Federation messages for 1,800 Romulan credits a day. There's a step that's not very far away, but which is unfortunately not a lock, and that is 17 billion. And at 17 billion, something very important happens, and that's the reason why I'm doing so well with faction ship blueprints and faction ship credits, because of that little secret, so to speak, that a lot of people haven't seen, and that is the 17 billion one. You see, I'm at 22 billion with the Federation. I'm upgrading the Federation and the Klingons a bit more, but it would be quite hard to get the Romulans up there as well, and by still progressing, and so I didn't do that. But this is what happens at 17 billion. You suddenly go from 1,800 credits to 4,700 credits. So this is more than doubled, and this is a really big jump in your credit income if you bring your faction to 17 billion instead of 15 billion just. And that's the reason why I already had the blueprints for the Rotaran and the Enterprise D before I even had a shipyard level 60. Because of my high income of faction credits via the faction store already. I'm using some other sources as well, but this is my biggest one, or at least my biggest daily one. The Armada exchanges are a bit better, but those are my biggest daily incomes. And that's why I also could build the Mow'ga, because I had the resources to do. But that was a little secret sharing here once again, so keep that in mind if you want credits. And now we have a quick look at the Mow'ga again. Here we just have a look at the normal ones. It's even faster. That's funny. I quickly have to go back to this one. Funny, in case of the Mow'ga, getting ore in FKR space is even faster than getting ore in the token space. But you must not forget one thing. The Mow'ga is a crystal ship. And unfortunately, my big ship, because of my rep grinding, the Rotaran, is in the in Romulan space. So I can only show you the speed for the grinding of ore. But you see, even with my crystal specialist miner, with crystal crew aboard, I can mine 250,000 ore an hour with my crystal miner. And so that is why I built the Mow'ga. And that is why I, in time, will definitely also get more faction miners from Federation and from the Romulans, because of the mining speed here. And because of the warp range. And I will need 5-star materials for quite a long time, even if I will go to level 61. And then, because there's still a lot of buildings and ships I have to work on. And so that's why it's really helpful. I can really get much more of that stuff now than I could before. And that's why I like the Mow'ga. And everybody has to make the decision if they want to build them or not. Those rare faction miners are expensive, with over 1 million credits. But as you can see, really, really fast. And it's even faster, of course, in Klingon space with the crystal mining. And there you have it, why I built that and why I really like that. And you see that I can reach this. It's a level 59 system, and it's a tier 1 Mow'ga, and I can reach the biggest 5-star mine that is existing in 5-star space before the level 61 and etc. Systems come, and I can reach that from day 1. That also meant on my server, it's different on the older servers, it will be different anyway, but on my server, the fun part in this as well was all the trolls we have that go around annoying everyone and killing OPC ships wherever they see them. And killing OPC is not making you a troll automatically, but these guys are trolls that I mean. And all of our specialists on our server cannot reach this system. And so it was even more fun to have the Mow'ga mining in systems they can't even reach with their best ships. And with their Annex 01, for example, they will not take out a 170 million miner, which is this kind of the starting power for that ship. So I had quite a rest there from these people. And that was another upside for me to build the Mow'ga. And that's it already, because I only wanted to tell you why I did it. You've seen the original preview video on the ship, so I can leave out some of the details I talked about there, because today was more important for me to tell you why I built it, and to show you the use of the ship, and of course the little secret with the 17 billion I wanted to build in once again, so that you will be able to build your faction ships faster. If you want to add something about the Mow'ga, please let me know. And if you want to see another video right now, the next one is right in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.